I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And are you Spanish speaker? Translator? We'll swear you in separately, so I'll swear them, but you can stay standing, and then when we're done with them, you'll swear her in. Do you swear from the testimony you give us the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You'll swear.
Sí, sube la mano. ¿Jura que el testamento que va a dar es la verdad y nada más que la verdad? Yes.
Alex, will you stand? Go ahead and let's get you sworn in as translator. You're going to translate, if you don't mind. We'll have you translate. Oh, I can swear her in.
Yeah.
How am I doing? Do you swear from the translation you give will be a fair and accurate translation? Thank you. And is that our first case?
Yes.
Okay. You want to call it?
Case number 2024-1050, Adriana Maria Ruiz Hoyos, owner, location of violation 2310 Sweetwater Boulevard, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Melissa House, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of St. Cloud. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: a copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail posted on the property in City Hall, copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail posted on the property in City Hall, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, affidavit of postings, evidence of mailings, the code sections in violation of, a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $311.34, and the respondent is here and has been provided copies. On July 15th, 2024, upon arriving to work, there was a note at the front desk to call the tenant of this property because they had some issues with the landlord that needed to be addressed. After speaking with the tenant, who advised me that they had rented this single-family home and the owner turned the rear porch into an apartment, they are now having to pay the utilities for the rental apartment and didn't believe that that was fair. The owner also closed off their child's bedroom window and the sliding glass door in the rear of the house. I made an appointment that same day and verified the violations. There was construction performed without obtaining the proper permits. The owner closed off the rear portion of the house, which is causing a life safety issue with no egress. This now changes the zoning from a single-family residence to a multifamily residence. And I took 15 photographs while I was there. So that's inside the house. The tenant showing me the sliding glass door has been boarded off. She opened that up. That is the only window in the child's bedroom that was closed off. This is the walkway to the rear porch. It's the entrance into the apartment. The tenant that lived in there actually gave permission for me to come in. So that's as you walk into the rear porch area, that's the walkway. There's a bathroom that was installed, no permits. There's exposed electrical wiring, like right there. There was one behind the toilet in the other picture. It's running across the ceiling. There's a kitchen that was installed. There is no stove, but there was a sink put in. That's the living room. And that's the actual wall that was put up over the sliding glass door. And an AC unit, window unit that was installed. And then that's the picture of the outside of the exterior of it. I asked the tenants for the owner's information, and they only had a realtor's name and email. On July 16th, I emailed that realtor and asked if they could help me out to get in contact with the owner of the property, and they never responded. On July 18th, I issued a notice of violation by certified mail. I posted the property in City Hall because the owner was showing this address as her property address on the property appraiser site. I did an affidavit of posting, and I took one photo of the posting. On August the 2nd, I received an email from the owner of the property requesting an extension of 30 days to be able to resolve the problem since she was in the process of an eviction and she cannot enter the property. On August the 6th, the owner came into the office and spoke with Supervisor Cole while I was out on vacation. Her email actually came in while I was on vacation. She requested an extension because she needed to get engineered drawings and is working on getting the permits. She also advised him that she was going through the courts to have the tenants evicted. Supervisor Cole granted her a 30-day extension. She also provided him with a different address to mail notifications to and he agreed to give her until September the 6th, so I extended my case. I verified that the eviction in the court records with a court date of September 19th. On September 11th, I reached out via email to the owner asking if she could advise an update on obtaining the permits that were required. I advised her that I understood she was going through the eviction process, just wanted an update on the permits. On September the 12th, she responded to the eviction on the 19th and nothing on the permits. During the week of September 23rd, the owner came into the office and spoke with me and Alex Miller. She preferred to speak Spanish, so I had Alex help me out with an interpretation. We explained what items we were aware of that needed permitting, but explained that if she wanted a detailed list, she would need to meet with us prior at the property to advise. A meeting was scheduled for October the 1st at 2 p.m. On October 1st, the owner emailed stating she would not be able to meet us. I checked the eviction, and the tenants had until September 23rd to be out of the property. I emailed her back advising I was moving forward with this case due to this being over 3 months of extensions. On October the 2nd, I created a statement of violation and notice of hearing for today's magistrate meeting. I then sent them out by certified mail to both addresses. I posted the property in City Hall. I did an affidavit of posting, and I took one photo of the posting. On October the 14th, I checked the permit records and nothing has been submitted. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing construction prior to obtaining permits, causing life safety issues, and changing the zoning conformity from a single-family residence to a multifamily residence, and not obtaining a business tax receipt for rental property by the time specified. The city would also like to give the respondent until November 18th, 2024 to correct all of the violations or pay a fine in the amount of $250 a day until compliance is met. The city would also request that the cost incurred in bringing this case before the magistrate in the amount of $311.34 to be paid within 7 days of the written order by the special magistrate. And that concludes my presentation.
So is there nobody occupying it as of now?
I have no idea. When
No.
she came in to meet us at the office, she had told me and Alex that she hadn't done anything with the eviction yet.
Okay. Name and address to begin.
Dirección y nombre y dirección.
2310 Sweetwater Boulevard, San Cloud, Florida, 34772. Mi nombre es Adriana Ruiz.
Does she understand the violations?
¿Entiendes la violación de su propiedad?
Ya sí me explicaron de
Sí.
la violación.
And does she understand what the city has asked for? Before we get into whatever does she understand what the city is asking me for? Basically, does she understand the city is asking me to give her until November 18th to get the permits?
Que si entiende que la ciudad le quiere dar hasta noviembre 18 para que obtenga los permisos necesarios para corregir la violación.
Sí.
Sí.
So with that, what would she like me to know?
¿Qué es lo que con eso qué es lo que quiere que el juez sepa de su caso?
Bueno,
Despacito porque tengo que traducirlo.
ok. Yo admito lo de que hice del baño. Si puedo sacar permisos, está bien. Y si pues él decide otra cosa, también está bien. Sobre el porche sí estuvo, me lo vendieron así, construido hace ya como 20 años.
Okay.
So she's saying that if you allow her until November 18th to get the permits, that's fine. But if you're asking her to take the bathroom, or whatever you ask her to do, she will do. She's also stating about the porch, that when she bought the property, the porch was already there. That's all she's saying. ¿Qué más quieres saber que le diga él?
No, eso era todo, pues ya la decisión que la tomara él.
Okay.
Yo voy a tratar de sacar los permisos, pero
Okay.
la
So
decisión
she's
que
gonna
ella-
try to get the permits for the property, and just whatever you decide is fine, is what she's saying.
And so for code enforcement, there are no permits on file for that porch?
No.
So the property was built in the county and then annexed into the city. The permit tax supervisor that's over the permitting department, apparently she did try to submit something, but when they did their research, there has never been a permit for that porch. So it may have been there when she purchased it, but I didn't know that. So I was asking more of the egress for one thing, and the permitting for the bathroom and stuff, but they said they're not gonna issue a permit unless she gets the porch.
So, Alex, if you can help explain the issue with, even if the porch was there when she bought it, there has to be a permit. So even if a prior owner built it without a permit, unfortunately, that's going to be hers to resolve with permitting.
Okay, so lo que está diciendo el juez es que aunque cuando compró la casa tenía el porch, es la responsabilidad del dueño obtener los permisos necesarios para que la porch esté ahí, porque si no obtienen el permiso para la porch, no le van a dar permiso para nada más.
Okay.
¿Sí?
Does she have an architect? Is she working with an architect already? She does? Okay.
She does.
That was my concern on timing, because if she wasn't, I wasn't sure she'd be able to make November
No, she
18th.
does.
Está bien.
Okay.
Sí tiene arquitecto.
And she understands that has to be single family and that there can't be two different family units living in there, right? Correct?
Y entiende que no solamente es residencia para una sola familia, no puede poner más de una familia ahí, no,
Sí,
a
ya
una sola
entendí.
familia, ¿ok?
Ujú.
Yes, she understands.
Okay, I think I'm ready to rule, but is there anything else she would like me to hear? Oh, I do have one more question. The city has asked to recover costs. As you know, I always offer, if she needs more time, I'm going to award the cost, but if she needs more time to pay that, this is a good time for her to tell me how much time she needs, because I will give that time.
Tienes que pagar 311,34, que se necesita más de 7 días para pagar por eso. El juez le puede dar más tiempo. ¿Quieres más tiempo o puedes pagarlo dentro de 7 días?
No, yo necesito más tiempo
Más
porque ahora
tiempo.
no tengo trabajo.
¿Cuánto? She needs more time.
How much
How much
time
time?
does she
¿2
think she
meses?
needs?
¿Cuánto quieres?
And again, my priority is getting the permits, and so I want her spending the money on the permits first.
¿Un mes?
¿Qué dice?
Que, sí, que la prioridad de él es de que saque los permisos. Si quieres más tiempo, te da más tiempo. ¿Quieres 2 meses?
Bueno, 2 meses.
2 meses?
Sí.
2 months, please. Te doy. Tienes 2 meses para pagar.
December,
Comunicas con él.
mid-December.
Ok,
Sea
gracias.
mediado de
Do you
diciembre.
want to look at it?
No, I was looking for the Friday, I was looking for the end of a week, so December 20th.
Y el permiso por noviembre 18
Okay.
tiene que sacarlo, porque si no corre.
Anything else?
¿Y tienes algo
Ok.
más? ¿Tienes más preguntas?
No, ya
Ok.
usted me había dicho lo que es
Ok.
duda
Good.
del
Okay.
fin.
And based on the evidence testimony,
18 de
Ah,
abril.
no, el 18. Si no saca el permiso hasta el 18, es cuando le va a empezar a cobrar la multa de $100.
250.
250 por día.
Oh, wow.
Por remover la estructura.
Pero es lo del pocho, el baño.
Tiene que sacar el permiso para el porch y todo lo que tiene. El baño, todo.
Sí,
Todo por el noviembre 18.
ok.
Ok.
Pero eso yo ya tengo el ingeniero, pero ya es lo que ellos acepten acá, ¿cierto?
Sí, eso tienes que hablar con el departamento de construcción.
Ok,
Okay.
está bien.
She just has questions about, I was explaining to her about the due date, the November 18, for her to obtain the permits for.
good, so you were doing what I was going to ask you to do, which was to translate my ruling, but if you're translating that for her, that's what you were just doing.
Yes.
And that is what I'm going to find, and that is what I'm going to order, with the change that the cost will be due December 20th.
Si quieres
And-
más tiempo
Sí.
de noviembre 18, tienes que decirlo ahora.
Sí, necesito
She will
más
receive a
tiempo
written
para
order
que
with
me
all of this in
cobren
there,
el-
make sure she knows
¿Cuánto
that.
más tiempo quieres? No, para el fee ya te dio hasta el mediado de diciembre, pero si
Oh,
quieres para el
ya.
permiso más tiempo, tienes que decirlo ahora.
Oh,
¿O noviembre 18 está bien para que obtenga los permisos?
No, yo necesito más.
¿Cuánto tiempo más?
Otro mes más.
So she's asking for more time to obtain the permits because she doesn't think she might be able to get the permits by November 18.
How much more time does
One
she
more
think she
month.
needs? Another month?
Another month.
So do you have a position?
The only thing I'd like to clarify is whether the walls of if she could actually let us do an inspection to make sure, is there tenants still in the property?
¿Tienes todavía las personas, los que viven ahí, estaban rentando, ya no viven
No,
ahí?
ya no viven ahí, yo soy la que estoy
Y
viviendo.
lo que quiero requerirte es que nos des permiso para hacer una inspección,
Oh,
para que te
sí.
lo den el juez, pero para que no nos cancele la...
Sí, claro.
Okay, as long as there's no tenants in there and I don't have an egress life safety issue.
And I will add that to the order, that it's to remain unoccupied until those permits are obtained and
Okay.
the repair work's
Thank
done.
you.
She's gonna have to, huh?
Okay, she's willing to do the inspection.
That's
she wants to-
fine, and he said she's gonna have to leave it where there's no tenants in there until
Okay.
the permits.
Okay.
Entonces les doy el appointment para que le dé más permiso.
Pero eso puedes hablar. No, ya te lo va a dar más, sí, te va a dar un mes más, ¿ya?
Okay.
Sí.
Okay?
Yes.
Well, that is my ruling, and I think you already covered it, so okay.
Si tienes
And
otra
she'll get it in the mail.
hablamos después de ella.
Okay.
Okay.
December 18th or
De nada.
20th, the
For the
Friday.
20th to do the due date
Yeah, the 20th was
for
the,
everything?
no, the 20th, oh, I'm sorry.
She asked for an additional.
Yeah, I'm just going to make December 20th the date.
The
That lets
date
me
for
work with one
everything.
date, December 20th for permits and costs.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Let me give her,
Yeah, I think Alex took them. Case number 2024-1095, Henry Romero, owner, location of violation, 1115 Vermont Avenue, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement Officer. I am presenting this case for the property located at 1115 Vermont Avenue. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items. Copy of the courtesy notice was sent to the owner and the tenant. Copy of the notice violation sent to the owner and the tenant. Copy of the notice violation sent by certified mail to the owner and the tenant. Copy of the notice violation with the new date sent to the owner and the tenant and posted on the property and City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed. Copy of the statement of violation notice of hearing sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed. Copy of the PowerPoint presentation, copies of the affidavits of postings, the UPS tracking showing the certified card for the notice violation was signed for, the certified mail receipts, copy of the deed to the property, copy of the code section in violation, a copy of the costs incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in the amount of $270.39. On July 30th, 2024, while checking on a complaint in the area, I noticed the high grass and weeds in the alley behind the property was very high. When I did the research on the property, I noticed there is a tenant and the landlord license has been delinquent since 2023. On July 31st, a courtesy notice was sent to the owner and the tenant. On August 14th, the reinspection was performed and the grass and weeds were not mowed and the landlord license was still delinquent. On August 15th, the notice violation was sent to the owner and the tenant. On August 27th, the reinspection was performed. The grass and weeds were still not mowed, and the landlord license was still delinquent. On August 28th, a notice violation was sent by certified mail to the owner and the tenant. On September 12th, the reinspection was performed, and the grass and weeds were not mowed. The landlord license was still delinquent. On September 13th, the notice violation with the new date was sent to the owner, posted, and the tenant, and posted on the property in City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took one photo. On October 1st, a reinspection was performed, and the grass and weeds were now mowed, but the landlord license was still delinquent. On October 2nd, a statement of violation notice of hearing was sent by certified mail to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and I took one photo. On October 11th and 16th, I checked and the landlord license is still delinquent. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing rental property without an active landlord license at this location, and to have the license renewed by October 28th, 2024, or pay a fine of $100 a day until compliance is met. The city would like to also recover the costs incurred in bringing the case before the magistrate in the amount of $270.39 to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Have you had any communication from the property owner?
No, I've tried calling the realtor and they don't call me back.
And it is occupying, that is a tenant who's occupying it, right? I saw the.
Yeah, the
vehicle in
tenant is the
drive.
one that gave me the realtor's, the management company's number.
Is there anything in here do you have that realtor's address by chance? Just
I
want to copy him on the order, maybe see if that gets somebody's attention.
think all I had was a phone number.
Do you know the name of the realtor? I can look him up.
Not offhand. I can email it to Claudia or
If
you
you'll email it to
tomorrow.
Claudia, then Claudia can get it to me.
Okay,
That'd be
I
great.
can do that.
Thank you. Yeah, just if I include him on the order, maybe that'll get it up the food chain and get some attention brought to it.
Okay.
But, anything else?
No, sir.
Based on the evidence testimony presented, find in favor of the city, find that the respondent is in violation for allowing a rental without an active landlord business tax receipt. Order the respondent to obtain such license by October 28, 2024. If not brought into compliance by that date, a fine of $100 per day will run until compliance is met. Also order the respondent to pay the administrative costs incurred by the city in the amount of $270.39. That amount will be due within 7 days from the date of my written order.
Thank you.
Case number 2024-1234, IH6 Property Florida LP owner, location of violation 3337 Whistling Trail, St. Cloud, Florida.
Melissa Howes, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of St. Cloud. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items. Copy of the notice of violation sent by regular mail, copy of the notice of violation sent by certified mail, posted on the property in City Hall, copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail, posted on the property in City Hall, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, affidavit of postings, evidence of mailings, the code sections in violation of, a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $340.19. And no respondent. On September 4th, 2024, I received a complaint from the next-door neighbor of this location stating that the property is not being mowed and the grass is very high. I went out to the property and verified the violation. I made contact with the tenant, who advised that the owner of the property was doing repairs on the irrigation system and had dug up the yard and was supposed to have a contractor come and mow the property after the work was completed. I asked the tenant if he could provide me with the contact information for his management company. I gave him my business card and asked him to email the information. I took 4 photos while I was there. Upon returning to the office, he had sent an email to the management company and attached me in the email asking them when this would be taken care of because code enforcement was at his residence. I reached out myself by email to the management company advising that the violation of the high grass needed to be corrected within 7 working days. On September the 4th, that same day, I issued a notice of violation to the owner of record and the registered agent to correct the violation within 7 working days. On September 17th, a reinspection was performed and the violation was not corrected. I then sent out notice of violations by certified mail to the owner of record, the registered agent, to correct the violation by September 26, 2024. I posted the property in City Hall, did an affidavit of posting, and took 3 photos. That's my posting there, that little one. On September 30th, a reinspection was performed and the violation had not been corrected. I then created a statement of violation and noticed a hearing for October 16th magistrate meeting. I posted the property in City Hall, did an affidavit of posting, and took 7 photos showing noncompliance. On October 14th, I completed a reinspection and the grass was cut and now into compliance. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of having high grass and weeds above a height of 8 inches by the time specified. The city would also request the cost incurred in bringing this case before the magistrate in the amount of $340.19 be paid within 7 days of the written order by the special magistrate. And that concludes my presentation.
Did you ever hear anything back from the management company?
No. And the tenant had emailed several times and
Do you know
copied.
who mowed the grass? Was it a management company or a tenant ultimately that mowed it?
No, it was the management company that finally did it because he was sticking to his guns. He was not going to mow it. They let it get out of control. So,
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
All right, and based on the evidence testimony presented, I find in favor of the city, find that the respondent was in violation for high grass and weeds on the subject property, find that the violation was cured after the time set, the notice of violation for cure, but prior to today's hearing. Any future violations may be prosecuted as a repeat violation. Will order the respondent to pay the city's administrative costs incurred in the amount of $340.19, which amount will be due within 7 days from the date of my written order.
thank you, sir.
Out of curiosity, just because Invitation Homes is a frequent flyer here, how do they pay their costs?
I don't know. She would know.
Or do you have a long log of
I'm
Invitation
sorry,
Home
who
co-
is it?
The IHs, all the IHs. those
They've
are all-
paid a couple.
Just curious. Thank you.
Case number 2024-1311, Doris Risso, owner, repeat. Location of violation, 1019 Georgia Avenue, St. Cloud, Florida.
Speaking of frequent flyers.
Yep. Good afternoon. Alex Miller, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of St. Cloud. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items. Copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent by certified mail, posted at the property in City Hall. Copy of the PowerPoint presentation, affidavit of posting, evidence of mailings, copy of the code sections in violation, a copy of the deed to the property, and a copy of the cost incurred if the magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $347.50, and the respondent is not here. On September 9, 2024, I received a complaint about tires being sold at this location. Upon arrival,
Sold, you said?
sold. Upon arrival, I observed tires on a trailer and a sign. In an effort to resolve the violation, I tried contacting the owner by phone and text, but I was not successful. I was approached by a family member who stated that there is a buyer interested in the property and will try to speak directly to the owner to help us cure the violation. Time was provided to correct the violation, and 1 photo was taken. On September 25th, a reinspection was performed, and now I observed several vehicles without current tags parked in front of the location. The trailer with tires now had some trash and debris, and the property was found to be in a repeat violation of having abandoned vehicles and accumulation of trash and debris. 7 photos were taken. On September 30th, a statement of violation and notice of hearing by certified mail was sent to the owner and tenant to correct the violations, and 12 photos were taken. On October 11th, a re-inspection was performed and verified that the property was still in violation and photos were taken. On October 16 and today, I verified that the accumulation of solid waste and debris and the abandoned vehicles violation was not corrected and the property was still in violation. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in a repeat violation of allowing accumulation of solid waste debris and abandoned vehicles at this location. The city will recommend that the respondent be assessed a fine in the amount of $500 a day per each violation since the violations were observed. The city will also request that the cost incurred in bringing this case before the magistrate in the amount of $347.50 to be paid within 7 days of the written order by the special magistrate. And this concludes my presentation.
So when you say each violation, I see two. Am I seeing it the same way as you are?
Yeah, two.
One for the debris accumulation and one for the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, just make sure I was on the same page as you and say each. And is Ms. Rizzo, I don't know if you know the answer to this question, you certainly more likely know than I do, but does she understand what the tenant is doing on the
Yes.
property?
Yes, I try to talk to her by text, and she basically says she don't care anymore because the son moved out and he moved back in, and he's the one who's causing all this trouble. So,
But she doesn't care?
no, she doesn't care anymore.
Any movement on the buyer of the property? Any more word on that?
No, that was no-go because she doesn't care anymore, so there's no way they were going to correct the violations.
Not homesteaded since it's rented, right?
Still, because the owner's still alive. The lady who owns the property is still alive, the mother.
But it's claimed as homestead?
Yes, but she doesn't live there. She lives in Tennessee. But it's still Homestead. We try to talk to Homestead, and
The grandmother is who owns it.
Yeah.
And she lives with the daughter, so it's the only homesteaded property she owns. So she keeps that status, even though it's her grandson that lives.
Oh, it's family member as the
Yes.
tenant.
Yeah.
That's the part that I was missing. Okay. Okay, well, just do what you can with it. Anything else?
no, sir.
All right, and based on the evidence testimony received, I find in favor of the city. Find that the respondent is in violation for accumulation of solid waste and debris and also in violation for unregistered abandoned vehicle on the subject property. Find that both of these violations are repeat violations, and for each, a fine of $500 per day will run. Remind me the date that you first observed? September 25th, is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking for these fines to be backdated to 9/25?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will do that. Those fines will begin to run on September 25th, and they will continue to run, each will continue to run until compliance is met for that specific violation. Also find the respondent is responsible for paying the city's administrative costs and prosecution. That amount is $347.50. That amount will be due within 7 days from the date of my written order.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfinished business status hearing, case number 2023-1471, If Only LLC owner, location of violation 1525 10th Street, St. Cloud, Florida.
Afternoon, Jack Morrison for the city. The city wishes to not proceed at this time. The parties have worked through the issues
Okay.
currently.
Remind me what this case was about.
This dealt with a commercial property on 10th Street with a multitude of violations, but there were unsafe structure issues,
Okay.
essentially.
And those have been resolved.
Has been resolved.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So, thank you.
New business none. Next scheduled meeting, November 20th, 2024.
Okay. Anything else from the city? Nope. You're adjourned.